I know what you're thinking.
When we wake.
After weeks of aggravation and delay, I finally have an approved travel itinerary for my trip to Berlin. In 23 hours, I will be boarding a big old jet airliner. I just realized this is a really long trip, which means that today is officially my last day of summer in LA. I need to get out here and squeeze in a few of my favorite activities. Santa Monica Airport is one of my favorite places in LA. Obviously, I'm an aviation nerd, so why wouldn't I think so? But it's actually got a lot of great features. This is the West Ridge Trail. Hands down, the best part of living in LA is that the mountains come right down to the ocean. I can enjoy the beach or the mountains within 5 minutes. You never have to choose. You've got hundreds of miles of interconnected trails ranging from smooth, easy fire road to super sketchy, super technical single track. Can be as hard or easy as you want it to be because you've got the well-groomed fire road and the single track. Today, I'm going this way. This is the tree. It's the 2-mile mark on the way up to the top of the West Ridge Canyon Back Trail. 1.5 miles left, and if you do that, up there you'll find restrooms and water and a panoramic view of the San Fernando Valley. However, if it is hot as balls and you're packing an extra 20 pandemic pounds, it is totally cool if you hydrate and go back down. That's what I'm gonna do. So if you're not from the area and you've watched the news lately, you might think of Santa Monica as a hotbed for riots and looting. But I can tell you that Santa Monica is actually a really quiet neighborhood. Great place to grab a cup of coffee, take an easy walk down to the beach. So today, I'm gonna do just that. Last chance before I head to the airport. Kind of unbeatable.
So after a quick visit to the airport and a really hot trail run and a dip in the ocean, I had just enough time to do one last load of laundry before the car service came and picked me up. I brought a ton of luggage for my stay, so thankfully it was a big old Tahoe that they picked me up in. When I got to the airport, I expected some difficulty just because of the EU travel restrictions for Cootie-covered Americans. Thankfully, production had sent an associate producer ahead of time who got everything sorted with Lufthansa and our big packet of paperwork from the German government saying that we were expected to arrive in the country. I flew business class in a 747-8 on the upper deck, which was really cool and a first time for me. A great experience all around. The flight from Los Angeles to Frankfurt nonstop is 10.5 hours, and I couldn't have been more comfortable. Big lay flat seat, excellent entertainment system. The food was amazing, and there was plenty of it, and the service was even better, really. So on the flight over, I tried to get some pictures. It didn't really turn out that great because I'm not a very good photographer. I will say one thing about the Lufthansa flight. If you are going to do that, flying from the States to Europe, they do offer Wi-Fi. For whatever reason, the Wi-Fi is not able to be purchased during overflight of the US. Once you get outside of US airspace, which is, 6 hours into the flight, you can do it. Don't do it. It is so incredibly slow. It's not worth it. Flying over Europe, I did try to get some pictures of some cool towns. I didn't know where I was because I didn't have a Wi-Fi signal that was serviceable. But we got into Frankfurt, and luckily for us, the business lounge for Lufthansa was actually open at the airport in Frankfurt, which made our 2.5 hour sit really comfortable. Was able to grab a pretzel and some beer, relax, and then a quick 45-minute hop over to Berlin. Again, try to get some pictures, really didn't turn out that great, but it's just a really beautiful countryside, and the weather couldn't be any better. Once we got into Berlin, the airport there that we flew into is really tiny. It makes like Burbank Airport look huge. No trouble with customs. It was just really quick, grab our luggage, and production was waiting for us right on the other side of the door. And once we got there, loaded up in the van, and maybe a 35 minute van ride to Potsdam, which will be our home for the next couple of weeks while we quarantine. More about that coming up.
Morgen. Morgen. Willkommen in Potsdam. Dies ist mein Zuhause für die nächsten 14 Tage und ich unter Quarantäne stehen. Welcome to Potsdam. This is my home for the next 14 days while I'm in self-isolation. The purpose of my stay here in Potsdam is 14 days of self-isolation. I get COVID tested every 2 days. Once that period is complete and I'm all clear, then I get to go to work. I'll be moving into an apartment in Berlin. I'll be here in Germany for about 4, maybe 5 months. And I plan to take full advantage of my weekends to see as much of Germany and Europe as I can. And I'm gonna take you guys with me, so stay tuned. Auf Wiedersehen. This is Park Sanssouci. It's about 150 meters from the hotel that I'm staying at in Potsdam. Did you see what I did there? I used the metric system. Speaking German, it's all happening so fast. I wanted to wrap this up with a quick note about what exactly I love about travel and what you can expect from this channel. I am a fan of history, and I love learning new things and experiencing new cultures. She seems like fun. I like seeing crazy stuff like this as much as the next guy. I don't like being told where to walk, and I don't like being told what to look at. So, no tours for me. My boy Cupid's got some pretty awesome hair. That's exactly the look I'm going for. I know what you're thinking. What I will be sharing with you are all the things that I love the most about traveling. Learning about a new culture, trying to speak the language, doing European road trips, pulling off the side of the road and finding a new mountain or forest to go running in. Anything that strikes me is what I want to bring you along for. Now, if you do want to learn about King Friedrich II's Summer Palace, by all means, Google it. Watch something on the History Channel, read a book, whatever you want. Better yet, get your company to pay for it. Come see it for yourself. Tell them that you want to fly business class on Lufthansa. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen.